Good morning. This is Wheel 789GB, the start of the drama hour or storytelling. The storyteller's not here; he's still in France, but I'm hoping to find some tracks on YouTube. I've just done a search on Cartwheels Collective. There's nothing new there, I don't think, but I think the storyteller is still in France. And he will be back this year, I'm pretty sure, but he doesn't sound, just from what I'm picking up on Facebook, he doesn't sound very keen about the United Kingdom in the current situation. He seems more European. Maybe there's some sort of British identity that's better off in France or some other continental country. Ireland maybe. I mean, that's just my comment there anyway. So as well as that, I'll be playing a few tracks of an ambient nature. Ambient Electronica is a phonic benefit on the 4th of November, Sunday the 4th of November, and this track is In the Presence of Angels, Andrew Heath.
there were liars, 4 of them, in a city. Now, there were only 4 people that qualified to be called liars with a capital L because they were so relentless. They lied about absolutely everything. No one could trust them. Eventually, at the 4 quarters of the city in which each of them separately lived, nobody would give them a job. Nobody would trust them with anything. Nobody would rent them a room.
We've had done with you. Now you get out of our city. You can't trust them.
Nobody would have anything to do with them. And so, by kind of a force of gravity, if you like...
Gravity, my ass.
The 4 of them...
Don't you go and don't you come back.
The 4 of them met up with each other on the outskirts of the city and fell to talking because they'd all been evicted. And it was then that they found out that they had something in common, that they were the 4 liars. Well, when they realised that they were thrown together by fate, they decided that there was no point going back to their own kingdom because, well, everybody knew them there. They would go and find some new territory and blag, there's no other word for it, blag their way in another kingdom. And so off they went. However, when they got to that next kingdom, on the outskirts of it, there was a nice-looking farmhouse, and they quarrelled with each other about who was going to go and try and blag a meal off the farmer who was doing something in his front garden, ploughing something.
Siding, it's hay time.
So they argued and they quarrelled, and finally they pushed forward the youngest, and the youngest went up to the farmer and he said, Here, I bet you anything you like, right, that you want to give me and my 3 companions here a really good meal tonight.
Right.
If we tell you a most amazing tale.
You told me an amazing tale. I don't shock easy.
I can tell you something quite incredible. You won't believe it. It's amazing. Honestly, it'll be worth the meal because when I was a baby, my mother, right, she was wandering along in the forest and she saw a lion, a ruddy great lion, and she dropped me right there and then.
And you were raised by lions, and?
Yeah, I was, and I could prove it as well.
Raw.
Oh. So you're not impressed then?
No.
Oh.
I come from Devon, I don't impress easily.
So he went back to his friends. And they argued, and then they pushed the second youngest along. Here, mister, I can tell you a really amazing story. I'm
not terribly surprised by that. What was happening to thee?
No, it's incredible, honestly. Well, when I was going through the forest, when I was a baby, my mother, she dropped me when she saw a pack of wolves. And honestly, I was raised by wolves, and I can prove it. Ow! Ow, 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 ow!
I can howl better than thee. Now go about business.
Oh. And so off he went. Oh dear. Well, now there were only 2 left, and they pushed each other and they pulled each other about. And then the third one, he said, "Oh, all right, I'll go and try. Here, listen, mister.
What is that?
I've got the most amazing story. I'm sure you'll want to give me and my mates dinner tonight if you because when I was a baby and my mother took me through the forest, guess what happened? Yeah.
She dropped thee because she had a shark and you were raised by...
Well, I think it's quite impressive. I was raised by snakes. Who's ever heard of that? And I can prove it.
Ooh, snakes now. Now that's interesting. Are there any more of thee?
No.
Oh. There's a 4th one over there. Does he want to come and tell me what he was raised by?
Oh, all right. And so finally, the 4th one. The 4th one. With some trepidation, it has to be said. Went forward and said...
So, your mother dropped you in the middle of the forest and you were raised by...
Oh, I was raised by something. You really won't believe this. I was raised by hornets. Buzz, buzz.
Hornets! Wife! Do you hear? The 4 slaves we lost under absolutely remarkable circumstances have come back to work for us, and we will make them work. Stolen by hornets and snakes and wolves and lions. We'll have them.
Oh no! And with that, they sprinted off into the distance.
And nobody heard from them again. Thank you.
Yeah, that one you can find on... Sorry, that wrong microphone. No, this is about, yes, you find that one on YouTube, Fake Story at Exeter Street Arts, Widsith and Deal. Cartwheels Collective does find it as well. If you search on Cartwheels Collective, it's one of the ones that turns up. And that was in daylight. And the thing I'd say, there's about 10 years worth of YouTube clips from Cartwheels Collective in various guises, and the cameras are getting slightly better. The sound maybe not, but I think what's interesting is that all of this might change, because the phones are doing a lot with lighting now. They seem to be using the computer power to correct the lighting as it goes along, which is really quite difficult to do as editing. And also the editing software is getting more mobile. Adobe at Macs have announced an edit software called Rush for phones or tablets, or I can't quite follow how it's going to work. But I think the consequence of that is going to be there'll be a lot more of the storyteller somewhere in France telling his story, and it appears online somewhere. Maybe not completely edited, but versions of it. And so I don't know where this leaves radio. The audience, dear listeners, you may have a better idea of what the storyteller is saying than a weekly show on an FM radio, because he might have something to say on a Friday or a Monday, and it might be uploaded somewhere that here in the studio we don't really know where it might be. Anyway, more thoughts on this may be dropped in between now and 10 o'clock. Perhaps another track of electronica, ambient electronica, ahead of Sunday 4th November Phonic benefit upstairs in the Phoenix. This track is called Anima Mechanica. It's by Simon McCorry.
Pretty petals put their mitts on my City Hawk decks, retrospective, and another new number soar high above the blood and dark energy. 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 Soar high.
That was an extract from By Fire in brackets East by Toby Marks, and there's not enough space to print out that one. Andrew somebody, I think, not sure who that would be, probably Andrew Heath, and before that Deep Impact 11, which is a track by Cartwheels Collective from about 10 years ago. And I found that one searching last night on Cartwheels Collective, and when I searched, it didn't come up again on the search this morning, but when you search for Deep Impact, there's lots of other ones as well. So I may play one or two of those, or you might search Cartwheels Collective and Deep Impact, and you'll find loads of stuff. But you'll also find on Cartwheels Collective, they have a lot of guests. So when they do their TP at the Street Art Festival or the Respect Festival, they have a lot of other people performing their music and poetry, and some of this turns up on their YouTube channel, Cartwheels Collective YouTube channel. This is from 2010, Live Talk, a White Horse poem.
Which actually is in one of my books. we're going to take a shot glass of time, knock it back so it hits the wall of your throat like a hoof, like a drum. And the hairs that stand up on the back of your neck will lie flat. And the shivers will resign to shoot back down your spine as we follow this line to a time before man, before beast. So hear the drum of your heart retreat like the pounding of a white horse's feet as we follow this line back to the beginning of time, where we shall see a horse born out of the potential of light, charge out of the inky black night, and as her hooves strike the ground, sparks will fly into the sky and make stars. So circle back a billion moons to the first days of life when the white horse herself galloped over the land, over rock, over sea, igniting the ice, making everything grow, stirring the volcanic fires below, where we followed this rhyme back to the beginning of time. The white horse, a spirit of freedom that soared through our lands, like the hairs that stand up on the back of your neck, like the shivers that shoot down from the base of your spine. She slipped deep into the ice and fell out of time, trapped inside judgment, locked inside rhyme. Her rage, lust and pride were banished inside. They'd bridled the curve of her head to the flame of her mane, imprisoned her under the ice, buried in shame. Locked under our skin and inside this rhyme where we follow this line from our birth to the roots of our worth in the earth. For a billion dawns the white horse remained, trapped inside fear, locked inside time, awaiting the day when mankind would return, to be healed by the land, to hold out each heart in the palm of each hand, to invite the horse spirit to rise up through our feet, right up through our legs, once more to run free inside you, inside me, in the trees, in the sun, in the wind and the tides. In the strength of our love, the horse spirit resides, on the earth, through the earth, to the earth.
That was Spring Shade by Glenn Marshall. And the Ambient Electronica, if you've just tuned in, need a reminder, will be in the Voodoo Lounge here at the Exeter Phoenix Sunday, 4th November. And this is the drama hour. The Storyteller's still away, but I'm playing bits and pieces from YouTube that has accumulated there. This is from December 2011. It's a version of Dickens' The Chimes. So first of all, part one. Well, you get the credits rolling by. I'm sure the sound will start.
Loud the bells sound in old London town. Loudest of all is that little church, up built in the city walls, with its crazy tower with 20 stairs going up to a solid oak belfry, door that is always kept locked. The church of St. Nicholas, the Avenger. And many men remark on the beauty of the chimes and feel the messages are brought to them.
It's lovely, those bells. I love those bells.
One such is Job Trotter.
Toby, my birth name is, but everyone calls me Job Trotter on account of my job. I'm a messenger, see?
One day, one New Year's Day, he was hurrying home, and it seemed to him the bells were saying, "Hurry home, Toby! Hurry home!" And he went back to his house, which was very close to the old church. He let himself in to his single room, and he lit a fire. But no candles, not yet. And on the fire, he put a great bowl of tripe, and soon it was cooking. And then he sat down in his only comfortable chair, and he took out of his pocket a newspaper. Yesterday's.
Oh, it's yesterday's. I couldn't afford a newspaper, me, no. Of course not. Oh, I can't read very well, but I can look at the pictures and I can just about read if I read right real slow. Oh dear, it's terrible stuff, this. It says we're all going well in a handcart, that's what. It says, oh dear, it says that the rich folks have been lending too much money and immigrants are coming in and there's not enough space for everybody and the poor have been borrowing what they couldn't afford to borrow and the poor are all breeding and there's going to be no money for all the children. How will we look after them all? Oh no, this is awful. Really terrible news, terrible.
And it seemed to him the bells chimed, "All hope is gone, Toby. All hope is gone." And he sat and morosely stared at the fire. Until there was a sound, voices outside. All right, but don't be long. And the door opened, and his pretty daughter, his Meg, came in. Hello, Dad.
Meg, my love, Meg.
Richard's just coming.
Oh.
We've got something to tell thee.
Have you, darling?
I bet you can't guess what we're going to do tomorrow.
Oh,
Can you guess?
I think I might be able to.
It's New Year's Day. We're going to get married. What do you say?
Oh, yesterday I would have been right pleased, but after this, I mean, what if they have babies?
Oh,
How do I
don't be
bring them up?
silly. We'll manage. Here's Richard now.
Of course I'm pleased for you, Meg, my love. Of course I am.
And Richard came in, a tall man with a nose that was quite red. Oh, perhaps it was the cold. And he took out of his pocket a great black bottle. And soon the tripe was cooked, and they had bread and tripe and spirits, and made great merriment. But after an hour or so, there was a loud knock, knock, knock at the door.
Oh. Well, I got up and I answered the door and I opened it, and they were three gentlefolk. Oh, they were gentry, all right. You could see by the clothes they wore and that, and they were so tall as well. And the first one, he came into the house and he said,
I belong to that persecuted breed of benefactors for society, objects of that wide of unjustified envy, and a leader of the city corporation, an alderman. That's right. I am a merchant banker, Mr. Cute by name, and I have come here Yeah, because I've heard that you're a job trotter, is that true?
Yes, that's right, Your Honour.
Well, I have a little work for you. But first, my colleagues want to see how your kind of people live.
Oh.
The first is very eminent. He is Mr. Trite, the political economist.
And with that, he introduced the second gentleman properly, and he came in and he was a tall figure with a terrible ashen countenance, a cruel face, the sort of face makes you step back a bit, like you don't want to look at him.
What is that I see?
Try it, Your Honour, try it.
What waste! What extravagance!
Oh.
That our political system and our economic system allows the poor to eat tripe!
Oh, but...
How could this happen?
But what would you...
We're giving them too much money!
What would you have us eat, Your Honour?
Bones!
Bones?
Only bones you need,
Bones?
my friend.
Oh. Oh.
What do you say, Sir Collinsby Osborne?
And with that, he turned to the third gentleman, who was much younger than the other two, and taller, and even more better dressed, like, even more richly dressed.
Oh, well, I think all this talk of money, it's so vulgar. Do you know what I wish for? A return to the old days when my people had the great houses and your people served mine and were happy.
Oh, I don't think things have changed that much, have they?
Oh, I know what we really want.
Oh.
Let us get rid of that dreadful Enlightenment and those foul revolutions. We need the Ancien regime again.
What's that?
When my people could compel you to work. And if you didn't, there was always the gallows. Or you could starve.
Well, I don't...
Isn't that true enlightenment?
Well, I don't think things have changed an awful lot, Your Honour, to be honest.
At which point, Mr. Cute came back in and said, "We are not going to have any tales of starvation. Has not Mr. Trite told us? The poor are not that hungry. They've got money to burn, so we'll have it off them. There are great plans afoot.
Oh.
But, before you are told of them, I better tell you how it's going to be. With these people, you have to speak to them in their own language. Your daughter over there,
What, my Meg? What about
she
her?
looks like she's been engaged to her marriage to that drunken sop. Is that true?
Well, they were thinking of getting married.
Well,
weren't
what
they?
thoughtlessness! What will she do when she has a child and he's drunk himself to death?
Well,
Is she planning to go on the social?
where there's life, there's hope, Your Honour.
Well, don't think society owes her a paycheck. We've had enough of people like that breeding. And they're getting more money. I've read in my newspapers.
Well, I'm here to look
that they
after
earn
her.
so much money they can afford to have a horse and cart.
I don't think so.
That will stop. Here, take that letter to the imminent address you see on it. Thank you, my man. They will no doubt pay you the other end.
Oh, and with that, they left my little hut. Oh, well, I had to go out and leave Meg and Richard making the rest of what merriment they could, and out into the cold, dark night across London, right to the centre of the city. Oh, and cold and dark it was. I can tell you, I got splashed by so many big carriages on the way, and finally, I came to the address. It was 10 Downing Street, wasn't it? Bang, bang, bang!
All my people, I'm afraid, are busy. Now I've sent them all to bed. But is that a letter, I see?
It is indeed, Your
Is
Honour.
that from Mr. Cute?
Yes, it is, Your Honour.
This is what I have been waiting for. This is the start of it. The beginning of my vision. Prick up your ears and I will tell you all about it. All about this big society which I long for. Which you long for even if you do not know. Do you want to know?
I'm sure you'll tell me, Your Honour.
Those three excellent people have agreed to buy the benefit system off me. They are going to make the poor work and they're going to pay me good money. And they reckon they can make the entire system profitable in less than 3 years. A win-win situation, don't you think?
Well,
I see you're speechless. Why are you still here?
Well, they said you'd pay me, my lord.
I expect you're so poor you need the money straight away. Well, I'm afraid you've got to listen. The real world doesn't work like that. My people will contact your people.
But I don't have any
time.
people.
Thank you.
And with that, he closed the door on me. Well, that was a bad job and no mistake. I knew I wasn't going to get paid at that. So I made my weary way home. God, I started pelting it down. It was snowing and all sorts. New Year's Eve and all. But when I got back in...
Hello, is that a voice of somebody I recognise?
Oh, I couldn't believe it. Just I was about to step in the door. Will!
Hello.
Will!
I haven't seen my girl Lillian, have you? There she is.
Oh, what a pretty door you've got. Oh, Will!
Yeah, I used to live with you down when you were in the countryside. You came to the city and became big swell.
I haven't seen you for years. What's happened to your leg?
Oh, I fell under the harvest cart. I can't work no more.
Oh, Will!
They said I gotta go and see a Mr. Cute and he's gonna give me some work.
Oh, no. No, you don't want to see Mr. Cute. Don't go to Mr. Cute.
But what happened then? I can't know him no money.
Well, we're right by my home. Well, come in. You and Lily, come in for the night at least. Come in. Oh, hello, Meg, my love.
I got rid of Richard. I got rid of him. I think Mr. Cute might have been right.
Oh, Meg, my love. Where there's life, there's hope. Well, this is Will and his daughter Lily, and they've
Please
stayed alone.
be.
And so we made what? Well, I won't call it merriment. We finished the end of the tripe between us and the black bread that my Meg had brought along, and we drank what liquor there was left in the bottom of the bottle. Oh, and 4 more weary, dismal faces round a fire you've rarely seen, I can tell you. Finally, we all fell asleep. I gave Lillian my chair, and we huddled up by the fire, and then...
That was part 1 of the chimes, and part 2 will be coming up as soon as I can find it. This is the drama hour. The storyteller's not here; he's in France. He will be coming back. Not sure when. Here it is.
Must have been midnight, because it was New Year's Eve, and the bells started.
Come to us, Toby.
They had voices.
Come to us, Toby.
I woke up.
Come to us, Toby. Come to us, Toby.
So I got up and like a man in a dream, I opened the door and I went out of my little hut,
Up into the belfry.
and I went across the churchyard
Come to us, Toby.
to the church. I found the door open and I went up the steep steps, the 20 steep steps, and then
You've come.
the big old door that was always closed was open, and I opened it. Oh, goblins!
He's come to join us.
It's
Close the
goblins.
door and lock it.
Oh,
You are with us now.
the door shut.
Come, ring the bells wild. You will stay with us.
Such a beautiful sound. The bells.
Stay, Toby, stay.
Oh, goblins, it's beautiful here, the sound, but I can't stay with you.
Of course you're going to stay. You're dead.
What? How did I die?
13th stair. It was always slippery.
Oh, no.
You're down the bottom with your neck broken. Stay with us. Stay with us. You are with us.
But no, you don't understand. I can't stay. I gotta look after my men.
Oh, she's gone to you.
But
You won't see her again.
But if I'm dead, what happens to her and Will
Oh,
and
we'll
Lillian?
show you that. Ring out the old and show the new.
And with that,
Ring out the old and show the new.
the bells pealed a beautiful,
Listen, look.
an even more beautiful tune, and there was a mist came down over my eyes.
Ring out
And then
the
when it
old
cleared,
and show the
When it cleared, I saw visions. Oh, horrible visions they were. I saw my old friend Will, who I'd only just met up with after these 15 years, and oh no, he's coming out of that poorhouse. He's been cast out for not working, and there he is in a doorway. It's morning, and someone's trying to wake him up, and Will, no, he's dead. He's died of hypothermia in the night. And there's young Lillian, his daughter. What's she doing coming out of that posh man's house? Is that Mr. Coningsby Osborne at the window? And why is she all painted round the mouth and round the eyes? I don't like the look of that at all. Oh, there's Richard. Oh, God, he's drunk himself to death. He's just lying there slumped in a chair, and he's not waking up either. Oh, no. And there's my Meg. There's my Meg, and she's standing with a baby on the riverbank. Meg! Meg, don't jump. Oh no.
Don't worry, leave her there. You stay with us.
I can't stay. I can't stay.
You can't?
My Meg needs me. My Meg, please. Please send me back, Goblin. Please send me back.
We feel for the first time. All right, we'll do it. We have one last chime we have never rung. One last chime we must always ring.
My Meg.
You must go back. Let us ring them, goblins. Build the sound wild over the land. Build the sound full of hope. Build the last chime sweeping.
It was so loud. Definitely.
Don't let fear devour your soul.
But it was a beautiful sound.
Don't let fear devour your
It was
soul,
so
Toby.
loud.
Don't let fear devour your soul.
It was like a dream, like a hallucination,
Don't
like a
let
mirage.
fear
And you know,
devour your soul.
then I woke up. There I was at the bottom of the belfry stairs. My shoulders were sore. My neck hurt. But I was alive. And I got up and I dashed out of there. I dashed out of the church. And I ran across the churchyard. And I opened the door. And there the three of them were. Just woken up and wondering where I'd got to.
Oh, Dad.
Meg!
Hey, you're back. I sent for Richard. The bells, they chirped me up.
Oh, good.
I'm going to get married anyway.
Oh, Meg, I'm so pleased. Where there's life, there's hope.
And so, Meg and Richard were married on New Year's Day. And all the time the bells rang loud, proud and wild. And throughout their lives, full of the happiness and the hardship.
Don't let fear devour your soul.
The chimes that say to this day,
Don't let fear devour your soul. Don't let fear devour your soul. Don't let fear devour your soul. Thank you.
That's the Chimes by Widseth and Deal, or the Cartwheels Collective. You could find it on YouTube. Now, so, so the lights gone. Can't find. No, I've got to go. So the clock's obscured by the light. May sound strange, but I'm wandering about between two computers screens at the moment, and so I need to. I think I've got about 2 minutes. No, 50. Yeah, about 2 minutes to finish about on time. That's how it's going to be. So this may seem a bit. Well, it's not exactly off topic, but it's not really a response to the content of the story. Just told the Chimes story, but what strikes me is the lighting is terrible. It's in a bookshop. The sound excellent. Sound was very good, but the lighting's no good at all, and that's the sort of thing that's got to be fixed somehow for video, either by lighting in a bookshop, sort of turn a bookshop into a studio, or else the cameras have got to get better, and that's what seems to be happening. I hope to talk to JD a little bit later on. He should be here about 10:10 when it becomes the Wild Show, because he's got a new phone, and it seems to just sort out the lighting. This studio is a wonderful studio for radio, but it doesn't got. There's no windows, and the lighting's not ideal. But maybe we'll do some samples and see whether it can cope with it. The other thing I'd say is, oh no, I think I've got to start the music now. May continue during the Wild Show. This is a track by Kraftwerk.
Oh.
fahren auf der Autobahn. Wir fahren auf der Autobahn. Wir fahren auf der Autobahn.